Yes. I want to welcome y'all to the You Wasn't Outside podcast on the Grown Folks Podcast Network. One of your hosts not doing the most, Normal Ass Carl. To my front, I have my man at Just Lex. Together we form Voltron.
Normal Ass Carl and Dick Lex.
We got to update our...
I get like that when our 50 come on.
I get it. Hold on, let me go ahead. Let me see it real quick.
See what?
Nah, it's cool. I was about to expose you, but I'll wait till next week. I want to wait till a time that you're not like expecting it.
I don't know what that means.
But
expecting what?
We're gonna start a narrative that he doesn't want to start. Right? The narrative is Lex don't like South music like that.
Oh yeah. Hey, you know what? I fucked around. I should have came in prepared.
Yeah, it's cool. We know where you deviate to. We know you.
To be fair, that the beat that you think is so
fair
fire,
to who, me to you.
the beat that you say is so fire.
It is a fire beat.
It's Southern production.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Missy Elliott.
There we go. All right.
What?
All right. You don't like dirty South. You know, like the dirt,
what
like
you
dirt
mean?
McGirt. Like
it's dirtier than yours. You ain't never heard no 8-ball MJG song in your life.
What are you talking about? Don't do this,
man.
Hey, man. Now you gonna start flexing over your shit. Start bringing up dudes that like you wouldn't normally. You don't know nothing about no Isaiah Rashad. Like, all right, man, relax. The only member from.
See how you had to dig from like 8 years ago.
That's right. That's what you would do to stay relevant in this convo. Isaiah Rashad is fire. Love his sexuality.
Fluent.
He said he's fluent.
He does whatever he loves.
Oh man, what's good, bro? What's new, man?
You know, just
I will have a 3 cheers at the end of this episode, but I wanted to get my flowers.
I get it. I would do the same thing. Yeah, we'll stop everything right now.
Absolutely. Give me my flowers. But what's new, bro?
Just running through some UGK
and new narratives.
Ghetto Boys.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
Yeah, that was
R.I.P. Bushwick.
I mean, you said it in the wrong chat, so they already knew you was full of shit, but you usually are. So
nah, man.
You had to get whatever you was feeling, you had to get that shit off.
Absolutely. Stop trying to neutralize me. Let me live.
You do that shit to yourself.
No, you do it. I did it to someone this morning. Talk about I was trying to troll you yesterday. It didn't work because I was busy. My bad, bro. Like, how you follow up at 6:30 in the morning on a Sunday on some shit? Like, bro, let it go. I didn't have time for it yesterday. I'm sorry. You know. Oh man, so that just maintaining. All right,
just maintaining.
Me too. We in that drag of the summer, especially like with dads with kids, where you just waiting for the inevitable to happen.
Oh, they started school this week.
Oh, okay,
I'm good to go.
Oh yeah, so you've already hit that drag.
That was Wednesday.
Do you appreciate that schedule living down in South?
I think so because
as a kid that was San Diego Unified, you know what I mean.
While it does suck that they spring break be like an extra week and they winter everything be an extra week. I don't know if I can, especially at this age, a 3-month summer.
Trying to find stuff to do.
No, because they already be like, yo, we don't ever do nothing. I was like, yo, y'all just left whatever y'all was doing.
Yeah.
Y'all just left that.
And then you have a hard time soaking in the moment.
Exactly.
Right when you said that, I thought about when you took him to the Jurassic exhibit. It's like, oh, we did something. Y'all just didn't enjoy what we was doing.
They did 2 of them. They did the bootleg one and they did the full production Jurassic Park joint.
Oh, so they've been living.
They went to
your pockets say you've been living.
I mean, I try.
No, I'm just saying, like when you look at your receipts, it's like
I'm saying they went to 2 dinosaur exhibits. They went to Sesame Place last week. They went to a Globetrotter game. They be outside. On top of every other weekend, there's 2 birthday parties. We got baby shit. They always at their friends. They always with their friends.
Sound way funner than your childhood.
I had to tell him yesterday. Because I was going to take him to the pool, but I was like, yo, the clouds came out and it's not even as hot as I thought it was going to be. And y'all ain't been listening all weekend. Why the fuck we all need to go to the pool? And they're like, man, we go to the park too much. I don't want to go to the park.
We go to the park too much?
Too much.
That's crazy.
They be reaching for new excuses.
We used to wake up every day just to live to go outside.
By the time, I was like, yo, I don't remember my mom ever taking me to the park. Now, to be fair, I had a bunch of friends in the cul-de-sac outside, so I didn't really have to go like that.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, I didn't.
Pause real quick. Shit you wasn't outside for, right? Just a little moment.
Okay.
Right? I could tell you what the landscape looked like in this neighborhood. Like the water systems that go like like behind this. I imagine your kids can't tell you like the full landscape of your neighborhood because they don't know what it's like to go outside and roam around and just find some shit.
Well, they They do because I make them.
Not this.
No,
not
but that's
this,
what I
not
told
to
them.
this grand scheme.
Because I was talking to.
You know how to get to your house through the back, your mom's house through the back way of going through the bushes and shit like that.
Yeah, but I tell them that shit, so they do know multiple ways to get home. And I was just talking to Zeke's homie's grandma yesterday. Where I was like, yo, my mom didn't know where I was at from this time to this time of the day, and it was okay.
Now we're worried.
No, yeah.
Now you get worried. We didn't have cell phones back then.
No.
You know what I mean? So, like, you had to go ask around some people. Like, you got to see a random kid coming up the street and be like, yo, where Lex at?
It was like that. It was like send the fucking homing pigeons out. Like, where the fuck is...
Tell him to bring his ass home. Hey, tell him to bring his ass home just means that whenever you see him, there's no time limit on that. Right. Cell phones have added a time limit. It is right
now, but I understand you are not in front of him.
Right.
So go find his ass.
Yeah, go find him.
And tell him.
Which is code for I'm not hopping in the car and going to look around because he's not in the immediate danger. And at the same time,
he in trouble right now. Yeah. So the longer it takes for him to get home, the more upset he about to be.
Absolutely. And you'll see, hey, I gotta go. When you start losing friends like Sandlot, when they start disappearing at the end.
Because our parents, like, if we was all outside playing, they wasn't hiding, they moved.
No.
They would go to the top of the driveway. Hey, yo! Bring your ass. They wasn't trying to
training day. Messenger pigeons, all that.
They wasn't like, oh damn. And then everyone try to have a quick little powwow before you go in the house.
This is what we gonna say.
They're like, yo, what was we doing? We doing something bad? What was going on? And I was like, man, we were just out here throwing the ball. I don't know.
Well, to that point, one of Chris's teammates was asking, like, yo, can I come over to your house? And he did it the old school way. And I was like, damn, I ain't seen that in a minute. I ain't heard of it in a minute.
G do it every day.
Nah, we
be walking. As soon as he get out of school, Dad, can I go to their house? I was like, did they invite you? You just inviting yourself? And
No. You're not explaining the old school way. That's the thing. You got to come with the homie. Like, hey, we wanted to play Fortnite tonight, right? That was their thing. Play some video games or whatever. Can I come over? His dad looked at his at his watch and was like, it's almost 9 o'clock, right? It was like 7:40. He was like, because it's bedtime. I was like, look, you can just bring him over. He can stay until about 9:15. It's up to you. And he's like, yeah, thank you. And then he's like, yo, that's how that whole thing started when I went to the baby.
It's just, hey, it wasn't even come over. It's like, yo, can I spend the night?
Yeah, that's crazy. You got to meet them first. Are you in there? Are you?
Oh, no.
Hey, wait.
I'm talking about the people I
back.
grew up with. No. My kids ain't spending the night nowhere.
Even if you know the kid.
There might be a couple kids, but that might be selfish on my part. Just say, yo, G, all right, yeah, hey, you want them, you go ahead.
Yeah.
Yo, night.
Yeah, spending that, like, because being at somebody else's house, like, they had a little cartoon beat with a little hand puppet dude that I've sent y'all a few times or whatever. And he was like, oh, can I go to Tyrone's house? I ain't never met Tyrone and them mama. I ain't going over there.
Yeah,
which is crazy because you can meet somebody's parents and they still be fucking crazy, right? People hide shit all the time.
Right.
So it's like, yo, but that was the standard back then. I ain't never met them and got a good vibe from them type of ordeal. And there's plenty of places that I went through as a kid. My mom may not like agree to this, right? But there's some places that I went to as a kid where I was like, oh shit, this is Baghdad. like it's a little different in here. You know what I mean?
If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't know how family structure is.
Absolutely. Every family is different.
I got to see, obviously I grew up in a very diverse neighborhood. I got to see different cultures, different dinners, different styles of parenting, I got to see different everything.
Yeah. Like
the whole spectrum. From like, oh, this damn, it's nice over here, to like, woo, you know what, Ma, you all right?
You all right with me?
You know, all right?
Strong provider, thank you.
Got to see the full spectrum.
Absolutely.
But I think it's,
and the accommodations are never where they need to be.
Kids got to see that shit because I can't just keep here sitting and telling them like, yo, y'all don't understand how good y'all really got it. Y'all really don't get it.
But even then, like, we weren't wanting for more back then.
No, because we didn't know any better.
Right. Well, because there wasn't any better at that time.
You know what I mean?
That was enough.
My kids got it so good, they be switching up nursery rhymes. So I'm going to hit you with this, and I'm sure you're going to give me 1, 2, 3, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, close the door. 5, 6, pick up sticks, right? Because that's all the fuck we had. What do my kids say? 5, 6, Nike kicks. I said, word. All right.
All right.
I'm taking them out the will.
Woo! Woo! Ric Flair. That's crazy. That's great. So they messing up the rhyme. That's how they mess it. But wait a minute. All kind of shit you've been saying the last few weeks has been kind of crazy. Like tags is chicken and farmers.
Look, man, it's fucking YouTube. That's why I was like, y'all gotta.
I read an article today that I wasn't gonna put in here, and I'm still not. But it was just talking about how mom and dad took away Fortnite from a kid. And he went to school, found another kid that plays, and he made a legit friend, but COVID fucked everything up for him. And he be in there like, yo, can I just please play? Like, he got a true addiction. And like, he be crying hysterically. You know, his whole mood has changed. He got anxiety from not playing.
That's why we had to take it off. Like, yo, if anything gets you this upset, you need to take a break from it.
Yeah, I randomly turn off the Wi-Fi now. He was playing this morning. I turned it off. Yesterday, turned it off.
That reminded me of the fucking hijack when I go to the front of the plane.
That's his problem when he comes here. He doesn't want to do his activity. Come on, look. Let me play the.
Nah, we ain't doing that.
I can see him.
But the difference
tapping
is
his arm right now.
But the difference is when he go to another spot, he got unlimited access. So it's like, you know,
so he always want to be at another spot.
Right. That's exactly what happens, right? And it's not to do nothing, right? Because when I hear him talk, it's never like, oh, we do blah blah blah. It's because we don't do blah blah blah. I get more time to do X, Y, and Z. Right, but that circumstance is a little bit different from the current circumstance that he has right now because there's more support. Right, you get what I'm saying? Where it's like, yo, if I'm that person, because I can't sit here in front and like I don't have a demanding schedule. I get what that other party does, right? So it's like, hey, if it was me, single dad out here, or whatever, it wouldn't be so much as a reality, but you would spend more time doing those things while I can finish what I'm doing between 8 to 5. I get it. Yeah. You know, but sometimes that time
I mean, yeah, it still wouldn't be like that though. Hey, you guys, we gonna read a book or something. Yeah. Because G was on it yesterday. It finally hit him because he's like, man, I ain't had TV all weekend. And he was like, Dad, I don't know what to do. I've been. I was like, yeah, you've been searching. You've been trying to pick up shit and move fake cars around and do whatever you was doing.
The crazy part is
you're gonna have to keep going.
I haven't watched TV all weekend, and I've been outside the whole time.
No, I get them. You know, we get like one episode a while now while I'm cooking dinner.
Hey, but you know what? You on to something because. Back then, when our cartoon shows, I was talking to some of the girls at work to realize I was from a different generation because I started bringing up Fresh Prince and Martin and all that. And like, I don't know what that is, right? I was like, damn, we have reached that pinnacle now, right?
I don't know how because that shit stay on a rerun.
That's what I tried to say. But again, those channels are not on regular channels. Everybody goes to what they want on streaming or what they heard from word of mouth. But our cartoons came on at a specific time, right? Like all the shit came on that was dope. Maybe like the first episode or something at 3 o'clock, but between 3 and 5, it wasn't shit on really. You watching Maury? Huh?
I was watching Maury and
at
shit
12?
like that. No, at like when you get home from school, Maury.
11. Yeah. But what was that other little Nickelodeon Hidden Dragon or Hidden Temple or whatever? You watched that for a little bit, but you like, man, I don't want to watch this because reality TV wasn't dope like that at that time. You know, so then you would go outside, and then Rocket Power, Doug, and all that started coming on. Hey Arnold, 6:30. It started getting late in the evening time. They put that shit on at the right time when families were getting kids like in the bath, and you was out the bath, and you just needed a chill time. You had that 2 or 3 hour time slot or whatever before bedtime. Now you can access that shit at any given time. Now, my kids watch Rugrats. They know who Tommy Pickles is and all that other shit or whatever. But I could put that shit on at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. Versus just watching BS, TV. So,
yeah,
all things from the 90s ain't that bad in the 80s, bro. It ain't when I look back on it because I was even talking that my little cousin, who is about 24, 25 now, they were the last generation to be outside. Like, I remember when Christmas would come and those kids would take all they new toys that they got in their house and bring it outside. Kids don't do that no more on Christmas.
I think that's a specific 24-year-old though, because I don't think the 24-year-olds in general were outside like that.
They was outside with us,
right? Because I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you have older siblings and older people in the family that did that, then sure. But I think if you coming up, 24 is a little too young.
How old is your brother?
30.
Oh, that doesn't count then.
Yeah. And he was outside with me.
That's what I was gonna say because he was outside. Like his generation or his group was outside, but the age group difference isn't that big. Huh? You about 3 years older than them?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too big. 4 is when the stretch starts to become.
It's 3.
Right?
I'm 3 years older, 4 grades.
Oh, then there is a different set. So when you graduated, he was an incoming freshman.
Yeah.
That is a different generation then.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because Lonzo, like, he's a different generation. Like the shit that he like champions and shit, you hear him talk sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's.
But that's what I'm saying. He's a different generation that understands a little bit of the outside because he does know a little bit more than I would expect. But then he will say some shit. I'm like, oh yeah, you 20.
Yeah, he like 28, which makes sense, right?
I don't know.
Like,
To him, he's 30. He's been 30 for a long time.
or
And
29. How old am I? I'll be 34 this year. Lonzo will be 30 next year. He's 29. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's at the cutoff because he asked, I don't trust nobody born after 94.
Yeah, because Adele's brother, he's like that too. But again, he has some know-with-all, like you know, how things go. All right, let's get into the episode, man. Hit my hand claps, dog. That was good. I didn't think that was the first time we had a little banter and intro like that. But after 200 episodes, what
really
you
not.
expect? It is the first time.
You be trying to cut everybody off.
No,
I
you
can
let
do
me
this
in
all day.
You let me in this today. We were enjoying it together, I thought.
Nah, well, you pulled up with that jersey on, so he's sad. Let me make sure.
We were both hyped up today. I love the energy today. It's great aura in here. Shit, you pull a hammy? You remember game day when they would pull a hammy, he put the football in the back of his hammy and still run? That's what that sound like. He like, new music this week. We only got one topic to talk about.
Shit, should have been more prepared.
Did you listen to the Nas album?
Nope. Not yet.
Wow.
I can run with it though.
Oh, we're here. Based on reviews that you've heard from other people then.
I haven't really heard any reviews.
All right,
Other than it, in the reviews I've heard, it's like, oh, it's not really credible because you were going to say that no matter what. Nas is incredible. Well, yeah.
Who said that to you that this was incredible? I'm very interested.
I saw one person say that, and I was like, well, I'm pretty sure you were going to say that anyway.
Who was that one person? Just give me initials.
Nisha. That was more than this one. I didn't know how to break that down.
Yeah, you could have just said heavy into politics or something. You put her whole government out. That's cool. Nobody knows.
That's not even her government. All right. Not the full one anyway.
That's an inside joke because that's funny. You know what I mean? Like, that's funny. Oh,
she said it was incredible, and it's not that I don't trust that statement, but I feel like she was going to say
It's
that
the
no matter
person.
what. No. I trust what she says in general when it comes to that, but when it comes to him specifically, I feel like she was going to say that no matter what.
No, I think it's incredible in the fact that, like, if you look at that music in regards to, like, the music that has been released on the year.
See, I don't do relative.
I get it. I've learned this. We just got to start separating what we are looking at, and it's okay, right? That's just where we're going to be.
The reason I know it's good.
What is good though, man?
No. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know it's great to my standards. The reason I know it's not trash, let me say that.
Yes.
The reason I know it's not bad is because the reviews I got from Jonathan and Mark, who don't like Nas, there used to be an ongoing running joke, like almost a hashtag.
Yes.
Whenever I would bring up Nas or something, and Jonathan would be like, "What, you trying to kick knowledge?"
Yeah.
He ain't trying to hear the kick knowledge shit at all.
Listen, we don't need to hear y'all arguing in the back, man. We heard it last week.
It's been 20 or 30 years, so maybe they've matured enough to be like, you know what, this is probably a little more my speed now.
Yeah.
Or it is that good. That's why I had to ask Mark. I was like, is it good, or is it good relative, like you were saying,
but I
to the
also
shit
feel
that's
like,
coming out around it?
Does Jonathan enjoy newer music that's out right now, in your opinion?
No.
Okay. Which is odd because, like, some of the sound and the flows that he's on is some of the new cadences that are in rap right now.
But I think Jonathan's at the point where he's not really listening to a lot of rap anymore.
I would agree with that. I do it for the purpose of conversation.
Like, I know the reason he went to the Nas project is because he's still a 50 stan.
Right.
So he's like, oh, I'm trying to hear that. Mm-hmm. And so if he would have said that song was great, I wouldn't have trusted it because I'm like, all right, you're going to say whatever 50 does is gold. And that's not necessarily true.
My statement is that he finally gave us a project that is okay in comparison to all his other works that he's put out recently. He's put out about 4 albums, right, in the last like 3 or 4 years.
Okay versus what? What are the other 3?
Like, I like Magic and I like King Disease 1, right?
Oh, okay.
King Disease 2 is, it's solid too. I had it high ranked, but then I don't feel like this Magic, if it was put out during the times that those other albums were put out, that I would enjoy it as thoroughly. I think that the climate in which he put Magic out.
So this one's a little lower than his recent.
In my
shit.
opinion, yes. I like the first, like
The first Magic is really good.
It's not like it didn't have that same appeal or feel to it,
right.
and maybe because he took that newer approach. And I'm always off, and I get it, right? You try to reach a larger demographic and show that hey, I can still do this in my 40s and whatnot, and like kill it, So let me get some music that's relatable. Cole switched his flow up, on KOD. And that's been his flow now, and he's mastered it and still been able to make good music. So I get it. I get used to the old people, right? And Jay-Z was saying, oh, you want the old Jay? Go listen to my old shit, right? I go listen to your old shit, though.
I don't know if that's a Nas thing. I think you're probably speaking more on Hit Boy at this point, because I don't think Nas has switched up. I haven't heard this project, but I'm saying, like...
It's only like 1 or 2 songs, because it's only like 8 tracks on there, so it's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just 1 or 2 because, the volume, right? So it speaks loud to me when it's like I don't have much other to choose from. Maybe the beat selection wasn't for me, but I liked all the other shit that that they put out. It's not that I didn't like this one, it just didn't capture me in the same way.
I mean, that could be the case, or because they've done it 4 times now that the 5th one just don't hit the same, because you're like, all right, well, I was already expecting this. When it happens the first couple times, you're like, oh shit. And then if it's consistent, the law of diminishing returns, it don't hit the same. Even if it's at the same quality, it's not hitting the same because you're so used to it, especially this many albums over such a short time span.
What is Nas' subject lines?
What is his subject lines?
Yes, when you pull across his music, right? What are his subject lines?
I mean, he's a storyteller.
Absolutely.
Queens. I feel like I know what it feels like to be on a New York stoop.
He's uplifting, right? To the black
He
community.
left the tech on a dresser.
Yes.
Uplifting.
Absolutely. I know I can be what I want to be if I ruled the world.
Belly was a real movie to him.
There we go.
He back to Africa.
So none of those, exactly. So his subject matter hasn't changed through the years. It's the sound, right? And so like his subject matter is still the same subject matter and uplifting and kings and queens and all that. But the sonically, it's just a little different.
I think it's changed relationship wise. People give.
You're not getting Uchi Wally.
No, because you got Life is Good now. I think people give 444 such a they give it this credit that I don't know if it deserves. Like, it's a great album, and they try to make it seem like this is the album that kind of pushed rap into being like okay to rap like an old person. But Nas did that 5 years earlier. And so,
but did he do it that well?
It might be a better album.
I don't know. This is where our argument with the album thing comes in, because it's like, if you put something out and it's digestible for everyone,
Life is Good is digestible for everyone.
I'm not saying that it isn't, but I'm saying that for Jay-Z to be so popular, that means that his music is that great.
No,
right? That's a good correlation. Why? His first album, he was on his way off the label.
There's so many popular people who have bad music. What do you mean?
What are you talking about? I just told you that Jay's run into the game was on his way out the door of the label that he was signed to when he first came in. You'll know it better than I do because you're a fucking historian guy, right? But you have to build a claim. Do you think like, his relationship with Beyonce is what got him in the superstardom right now? No, he was already hot before then. Like, bro, the way he moves has garnered people's attention, which makes him a great like that.
But what does that have to do with what we're talking about?
Because I feel like
Nas is already he's been Nas.
But
for
I always
a long
feel
time.
like you undercut like people's accomplishments because of the notoriety that they get, not knowing that their accomplishments is what brought them to that notoriety. So it's like we can't discount. Hey, can you close that door for me?
No, I'm not discounting. Obviously, his ability got him to where he got. But once it's already there, I'm not gonna say, because he's that means this is good.
Yes, please.
I'm not gonna say 444 is good because Jay-Z made it.
No, but you'll say like for example, we'll brush over this because I do not want to get deep down to this. But you'll say like, the Nelly album isn't a classic because of XYZ, which we both got a text, and I'm proud of us for not responding to it because we would have got into it. And he be trying to come at the wrong time, right? It's like 9:30 on a Saturday, dog. I'm not in the mood to argue. You probably 3 Pacificos in right now.
Thanks for the listen.
Yeah, and we'll talk during the week when I'm a little bit more fired up and focused. Right now, I'll be scattered. But anyway, back to what I'm saying is like, like if the work is that good and we all can eat off of it, then it's that good. Like we should be able to give it credit.
Okay, and I think I don't know where you're trying to take this as far as my original statement, which is
No, because what your
444
original statement was is that life is good. Jay-Z's 444 made it seem that, you could be old man and rap and like talk about like the type of fly shit that you're talking about because of you this age, but Nas did it previously before. Okay, but he didn't do it as well as Jay did on 444 is my opinion. You said he did.
I'm saying he did.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying 444 doesn't deserve no credit to push that forward. All I said was specifically they made it seem like that was the first album to do that. Now, Life is Good was pretty high critically acclaimed. So it did.
When you said they, okay, that changes where we're at.
I'm always talking about they.
They.
Me and Khaled are on the same
I know they,
page.
but we don't know they, but I know the they that you talking about.
I'm just saying Life is 444 gets a little bit too much credit and Life is Good doesn't get enough credit.
So you want to shine light on the little guy. I see what you're doing. Why you getting mad? I'm being for real.
Calling Nas the little guy.
I'm just saying, but the way you was talking about it was as if like, hey, look at me, I'm here, like you know.
I'm saying people. I don't know, whatever. I don't care enough of this. Are we okay?
Don't do
so
that because
Magic,
they gonna think something wrong with you.
Now I got mixed reviews.
They gonna think
I
something.
got mixed reviews on.
It's not
Magic.
that it's not mixed. It's just that I don't. In comparison to himself, right? Out of the four bodies of
I'll
work,
probably get to it Tuesday.
there we go. It's progress. The writers need to stay on strike. There's more time for everything.
Just where I fell out in my musical listenership this weekend. I had a artist that had a lot, so I didn't get to nothing new. But I'll get to that. But yeah, it's about to heat up because there's a lot about to drop. I think we're at the part where it's about to speed up now.
I think they said that we're getting a surprise J album. Travis Scott comes out on the 28th. You're not a Travis Scott guy though, huh?
Nah, I'll probably be listening to Reason. He drops on the same day. I'll be at that one probably.
You be a hat tip. It's cool, man. Look, I accept you for who you are. The way y'all was getting to giving it up.
Look, maybe I'll probably listen to Travis Scott. I don't expect to like it.
So you didn't like Astro World?
No.
I remember talking to you around that time too. Like you did give it a legitimate shot.
It was hard too. It was a long listen. I was like, oh, he wants to be the one that doesn't do a 8-track album. God damn it!
But even the way he brings in older stuff, fuck the club.
I understand his appeal. I understand. I'm not taking any away from his talent. It's just not for me. I
don't look at him as like a rap artist though.
I mean,
it's hard to explain what he does because it's like, he does rap a little bit.
It's evolved so much.
Right.
I wouldn't expect half of these people to, I would call rap, but because we've evolved so much, we're 3 weeks away from the 50th birthday of hip hop.
We had to evolve. Absolutely. I was talking to somebody about that.
As much as I might not like a lot of it, I'm not going to hate nothing. I'm like, all right, that's for them.
I asked the girls at
the little
work,
playlist you had at the workout. I was like, I don't recognize none of this shit.
I just put that's for them, the kids.
I understand.
They like Rolly, whatever came on after Rolly. I just had to make sure they be cussing a lot in the new kid era. So I had to find the
Your
setting.
daughter said that. She heard it. She's like, "Do you hear this song, Uncle?" I was like, "Yeah." This is my brother's favorite song. I was like, all right, why you tell me a lot about him. I'm asking you about you.
Yeah.
No, I like it too. It's Rolly. I was like, word.
That's their shit. But you know what? Like, we had a lot of bullshit music too.
Yeah. Well, I think every generation is going to say
absolutely
the current generation.
Young Jock was bullshit music.
I seen you doing a motorcycle dance like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, where was that? That was a Joe Budden bar.
What?
When he said, "I see you seeing the," he said something like the Soldier Boy dance or whatever in one of his lines or whatever. But whatever. I remember because I was at work and the girls, I asked her, I was like, what did she say? She's like, I'm 26, and so like I do icebreakers with my unit and stuff, and I was like, yo, what's your favorite artist? Oh, I like Mac Miller. I said, that's crazy. We had Eminem. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I think our generation would probably.
No, we like Mac Miller, but that's not the go-to that we would go. That we would say though. You get what I'm saying? Like it was like, oh, Mac Miller, and then like some other like artists that was around that 2012, 11 time period. And I was like, damn, that really is a separation of about 9 or 10 years. Because if you were to ask me, I like 50, I like M,
well, because
I like Dre and Snoop.
You're
because
at
that was around that time
You're at
too.
an age bracket where, like right now, it's been a long extension of the blog era, which we were college for. And the blog era had, they specifically marketed to college people. The Wale's, the Big Sean's, the Coles. That was all college music.
Absolutely.
But we're old enough to be in high school for the previous, like the death of like gangster. Like once Kanye outsold 50 and that whole little thing, that was kind of like the end of gangster rap. Like, oh shit, it's a rap. Now we wearing skinny jeans and we doing all this other shit.
Yeah, high fashion, baby.
And but we're old enough to remember what it was like before. And then if you got older people in your life, then you were really, really outside like that in the 90s, then you all, I've seen it change so much. And it's just an age thing. Like there's a specific age bracket to where how you grow up, the nostalgia is such a big factor in your music that it's going to stop somewhere. And then, you can still like music moving forward, but it don't feel the same no matter what it sounds like.
It don't feel the same.
I can always find an album in today's landscape that I really, really rock with, but it don't hit me the same as when I'm at a certain age bracket. I would say 10 to like 19. Like there's like a 10-year window, maybe even smaller window than that, where the albums really, really hit you. And so depending on what's coming out at that time is going to shape you a little bit more. Like nothing can really shape me right now. I'm already there.
Yeah.
But during that time, it's like, all right. That's why it's kind of, it's important.
Nostalgia is a big thing. And it's like people, places, things. I was at work.
Parenting too.
I had on some Jordan Bread 13s. And we got a white girl from Brooklyn, right? She's from like or the Bronx or something. She's from one of the boroughs in New York though, like legit. FU, ride a subway, the whole nine, right? I told her she'd be losing her touch because she'd been living out here in California. Though she seems a little bit more democratic and loving and hippied out. But she looked at me and she said, "Wow, talk about nostalgia. Those shoes you got on remind me of Mace." And she said, "I remember he wore those in the video and everything." And I was like, "Yo, that's crazy."
Nice callback.
Yeah. and just going through the time, bro, like the power of reminiscing about something will save lives. You know what I mean? It will preserve friendships. It will build friendships, man. So that's part of that nostalgia that you're talking about. It's like that good feeling.
Yeah, it's so strong that when I'm watching these verses or I'm at these like festivals with like older artists, people I don't rock with during the time, i.e. a Nelly and Ja Rule and stuff like that, when they're doing their verses and stuff, I'm still just as excited to hear all these songs because I knew how big they were and I knew what time I was in. Right. Even though during that time I was like, "Yo, this shit ain't for me." He ain't killed nobody yet. He ain't sold 1 gram of drugs. Come on now. Speed this shit up.
Look at my man's criteria. It's crazy. Speed this shit up is crazy.
That's all it was. But yeah, that's how important nostalgia is. And yes, I can create memories and I can still have some type of nostalgia moving forward. It's not going to be the same as when I'm at this specific age bracket.
Absolutely. Hit my hand class, man. I didn't know we would come together in harmony like that, man. I liked it. We should have more days like this. Yo, telling somebody you should have more days like this is crazy. Like, yo, you really care about that person when you tell them shit like that. Random shit to fill in time. All right, we're going to have fun. You wanted to skip over these last week, but I left them here.
No, that's not fun to me.
I want to have fun. This is great, man. One reason why you wouldn't date yourself.
Oh, I didn't skip that one. I was going to do that one.
Yeah, that was fun.
We skipped that. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, which one you did? You ever take a break? Oh, okay, yeah. We're good. I said, but that was the focus. Have you ever taken a break to focus on something?
No.
It's not a man trait, but we'll get there.
One reason I wouldn't date myself. I'm too crazy. Like, I think I can get too tunnel vision.
So, like, if you met your carbon copy, now, not the same hair flow, because obviously we know you like the sisters and everything, right? So, like... Yo, Jonah was trying to play you, man. I know he was trying to pigeonhole you to say, like, hey, he only attracted the sister. Like, nah, my man might like something different, too.
What is a term you'll understand? I've hit for the cycle.
Yeah, equal opportunity employer.
Always.
Yeah, man. It's all good.
It just...
I tell you what, I've hit for the cycle, too, but, like, I don't like hitting singles. There's a few singles that, there's a few people on our list, I'm like, that just, it's not for me. I may not be on someone else's cup of tea, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean I didn't give it a shot.
Right, absolutely, nothing wrong with that.
I just,
You know what reminds me of in the background? Kendrick Lamar's dad. Where the fuck my dominoes in?
oh yeah, 100%.
Anyway, hey,
And
put
by
him
the
on
end of the album, he gonna call you back and ask the same question. You still ain't found them shit?
Oh, it's 7 a.m., bro. You wanted them last night. But anyway, so you said you too crazy.
I mean, like I can be so focused on a destination, I'm not always present during the journey, if that makes sense.
But how would that affect you dating someone like yourself?
Well, you know, if I'm trying to be more in the moment, if I'm trying to create some experiences and do this and that, and I'm with somebody that's like, no, we got to get here first. We got to do this first. We got to accomplish this first. We got to do all this stuff before we get to that.
You don't like white women.
Then
You're explaining all types of, because that sounds like soccer mom Karen, like you.
well, that's like the younger me as well.
What do you mean?
Like I was like, hey, you know what? Now, in it has worked out in a lot of cases where it's like, hey, you know what? I ain't trying to get married. I ain't trying to have a baby. I ain't trying to do this until I get a house. And then when I get some, I'm like, this ain't the house to have a kid in, so I ain't trying to have a kid right now. I'm gonna try to get to here first, here that. Now it worked out in a lot of cases, and I'm not saying it doesn't make sense, but I'm saying to the level that I can take it. Like people like, damn, like I could be so focused on something like, man, we can't go out to eat this one time. It's like, I don't need no fast food. I don't need this, that. I can go so long without any type of enjoyment because I'm so focused that I can forget like the people that it affects. Like they're not, I can't expect everybody to be like me and to take that. But yo, we've been cooking every night for like 4 weeks. I'm trying to go to fucking elite fucking Chick-fil-A or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. Focus. Or, you know, we've been doing this and that for so long. Like I'm trying to step outside real quick. It's like I don't need to. It's like a sense of desperation. I can go so far left with it that I be forgetting, like, all right, not everybody's built like this. And It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just like I might be a little crazy with it. And I need to chill the fuck out sometimes.
Two things for me. A woman that's too boisterous or whatever the word is where you talk a lot, right? And then the second one is if you're too driven. That sounds wild to get off, right? But when I say too driven, meaning that like you just got way too many activities in your day that don't involve me. Because that's me, right? Now what I do is I try to carve out time for my wife and my kids and stuff like that so that it's like legitimate quality time. But the work I do, like it, at any moment, even today, right? If I had some shit to do that needed to be done by tomorrow, I'd have to take an hour or two to finish it or whatever and take away from my weekend. It wouldn't work if my partner was the same as me in that regard. Or like did the type of work that I did or something like that. You know, it's just not gonna work because like I'll never get an escape, right? And I think that my wife, her personality traits are one to listen and consume information. Yeah, it has its drawbacks, right? When it's like, yo, I'm trying to explain some shit to you that you're not understanding or whatever, that I need to get to you or whatever, but you're not hearing what I'm saying, right? Just like y'all don't like, but you'll get what I'm saying and you be like, yo, let this motherfucker have his moment. You know what I mean? That's cool. But if I need you for something based off of what I'm telling you, like this ain't gonna work for me sometimes, right? And I'm not saying that happens. It doesn't happen like that all the time. I always have to break shit down or I got to introduce it slowly to her, which is cool. Like that's the type of person that I want. One that's gonna allow me to stand on the fucking soapbox and talk. Most of our evenings in the evening time, she don't provide the content. I am content man, but I don't do well in that setting with like if another woman is like that. To me, I'll turn into you when that happens.
This sounds kind of
that look crazy on me.
You don't appreciate content not having the pressure to always be the content person? I
am the life of the party.
All right.
It has nothing to do with male or female, right? If I was into men, I can't get me a boisterous man. I need a docile man. I'm just being fair, right? It has nothing to do with gender or anything like that. I'm just saying, if I was a gay man or trans, whatever part of the community, that's what I'd be on, right? I just need somebody that it's a personality trait.
I don't need you to do any talking. Just listen to me talk.
Absolutely.
That's
fucking crazy. Hey, look.
I do not care what you
on the
have
other
to say.
side, you wouldn't allow your partner to control your finances the way you control your partner's finances. That sounds crazy, right? But gay or not, right? Like man or woman, right? You don't like that. You would not like that.
Not necessarily.
Shut the fuck up, man. You a
Listen,
goddamn lie.
I mean, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, we are.
But I mean, I'm saying that if...
That was a Saturday Night Live joke. That's funny. That was
if
funny.
you had the plan, and I was like, yeah, that shit makes sense to me.
That's the problem.
No, because if...
There lies the problem.
No, but that's different, though.
Explain.
That's one specific thing. When it comes to content providing, content is content. Controlling the finances is one specific thing in a household. But
You got the key.
But providing content is like, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I've been doing a whole lot of talking. What you want to talk about? That can happen at any given moment.
I do it. With you and her. Y'all the same person.
No, but that's like no. The way I'm hearing this,
I have to spice you up, pause. I have to spice you up.
The way I'm hearing
quick.
this is like, Adele, shut the fuck up. I don't care what you want to talk about. We talking about what I want to talk
No, that's
about.
not what. Thank you. All right, I see what you're doing.
I'm trying to keep you out of trouble. I'm trying to keep you out of trouble.
I know. I got you. I see the oop. I see the pass.
Like.
I saw the vision. I see the breakdown in the defense. I'm with you. But what I'm saying is, like for example, you said today, hey, look, man, you came in late. I took a long look at that list, said we ain't got shit to talk about today. Let me provide the content. And look what we stumbled upon, right? I'm not saying that I'm God or nothing like that or that I'm better. It's just that, hey, I give us, notice the words, I give us a full 6 days to put the content together, and neither one of us touches. So I was like, all right, let me make sure I get us something so that we got some quality, right? So the same thing happens in my relationship where it's like, and I'm not saying she's a deaf mute or anything like that. It's just that if I'm having a bad day and I'm not my talkative self, she will ask me, what's wrong with you? Because you're not doing the shit that you normally do. You're not saying nothing off the wall. You're not coming in here about some day. So non-verbally, she's saying, hey, bro, be you right now. Like say something that gets me thinking.
If you're upset, then yeah, and it's probably something that I'm assuming she has to like about you, otherwise she wouldn't have married your ass.
Let's play the reverse. Like my wife, it's hard to tell when you're having a bad day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
keep it that way.
It's the same. It's the same affect, right? Now I'll find out, right? Because I know behavior cues with you. Motherfucker go like 3 days without sending a message or nothing like that. I'm like, all right, let me check on bro real quick, because this isolation is part of your thing, hers too, right? So I gotta pay attention to like all the nonverbal shit to see what's going on with y'all, which is cool. It's probably why we click. Because for a while we were getting in trouble for how you was giving it up on here, right? And it was like, well,
I don't even think I was really giving it up like that. The amount of trouble I really could get in.
Me too. I know that.
From not just one party, but a lot of different parties.
But you're that guy at home though. We taper that down. We allow you to be like we taper you down here.
Yeah.
But your wife allows you to be yourself at home, and she be like, no, because there's been some times where I be like, whoo, how he get that one off?
Well, I'm not going to take it dark yet.
Yeah, I know, but that's like I was like,
don't throw me off.
Like this, like the cliff rescue. That's some you shit, right? You know it. And even she was. I ain't laying the details out, right? I ain't gonna do you like that because that shit was still funny. Look, he's still finna say the. Oh man, that's funny. Oh, it's different. It's different. Second guess is crazy. That's crazy. You wasn't second guessing before, but that was funny.
Get a Patreon, man.
Yeah, I know. That's why I just left it as it is, man. Nobody knows what the fuck we talking about. So I mean, listen, we can hear y'all, man. Y'all not invisible. Dang.
I think it adds a little something to the show, though.
No, it does. Me too. Yelling it, we can hear y'all. It's great. Mark said he enjoys it.
It's like How y'all be having a 7-day argument? Y'all been together so
They still
long.
don't hear
Y'all
me.
ain't figured this out yet.
They still don't hear it. It's like, when you talk to your kids or whatever, they doing some shit and they not really hearing you. It's the same thing.
I be having a full on just lecture, full on like I know I drove my point. 7-year-old, a 2-year-old can understand this one. The first thing he goes, no, but dad, and he'll say some shit that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
At all.
All right, man. Fuck it.
Let it go. Yeah, but that's just me. I don't do well in those settings. There's people that I'm thinking of right now where it's like, or a type of person where I'm like, that's just not gonna work. Like way too much. And you know what? That actually goes into my little shows to watch or movies to watch too, because that Barbie movie is like walking that line. Like that's not a kid's movie, but we'll get into that. What's something that you?
Now she won't listen.
Yeah, I know, right? What's something you find intolerable the older you get?
How toxic do I want to be?
Oh, okay. We got subject matter then. All right, good.
No, because a lot of shit I might say.
Go ahead, get your bag off, man.
A lot of shit I might say, I might sound like a hypocrite because I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to be better.
No, that's good.
Intolerable. Shit. I don't know.
Or something that wouldn't usually bother you previously before.
I don't know. I'll be unbothered about a lot of shit still. I don't know. I feel like I'm such a glutton for punishment. That question's kind of hard.
I'll give you one. All right, and again, I didn't think about this pre beforehand, so I just came up with one. I was on the 15, merging on.
Oh shit!
It was on the light, and it's funny because I forgot about this until now. But I was like, "Yo, there's just some shit that I just can't let go." So the way the merge is, the light is on, and all that other shit, man, and it's my turn to go. I paid my money for my little sticker for me to get in the carpool lane, buddy. I'm going to get my carpool just due. Because I could have been way off in the back of this line, but nah. So dude comes through, little rocket. And I can't say the full term, right? But a little rocket. And he goes into the emergency lane, passes me up, cuts off in front just to get into the space there. I said, all right. You don't know, but I got time today. I ain't got nothing to do but go to these kids' baseball workouts. Speed up. I got, blacked out tent. This dude got blacked out tent too. Roll my window down. Give him
on the freeway.
On the freeway, right? Best thing about a Tesla, you release that gas pedal, it already brakes like a golf cart, right? So I'm slowing beautifully. Roll that window down, and I give him the Mutombo finger wave with the Suge Knight head look out the window. Don't do that. He speeds off because he's afraid now, right? I said, all right, you can't pull moves like that, man, if you're not ready to deal with the consequences. So for me...
He thinks he's faster than
and I've been... And maybe, right? Given the rocket, right? The rocket was lowered, had a muffler on it, right? There's a whole term that goes with that, but it's not friendly in this era that we're in.
Glad you told me, because I was definitely about to give it to you.
Because what ethnicity was he?
Huh?
What ethnicity was he?
No, now that we're here, I'm not.
There we go. Just wanted to see if you wanted to slam it home.
Shout out to Ben.
There we go. And so I'm like, hey man, like bad driving, or like being just like completely reckless. That's intolerable for me. Before, back in the day, I used to look at my dad and be like, oh, he crazy. Like, why he yelling at this dude or whatever? But now, as I get older and get off my lawn type, and I understand what accidents do and how they happen and occur and stuff like that, usually from somebody being negligent or, having no regard about anyone else, that shit irritates me now.
See, I think I went reverse in that.
What do you mean? Like, you're more passive?
No.
You drive crazy, though.
No.
Yes, you do.
This
is Jeff Gordon we're sitting next to.
I'm quick to run up on somebody.
What do you mean? Like the
Mutombo finger is a younger version of me because, like, yo, how dare you?
Right.
The fuck is wrong with you? My kids are in the car, or whatever the case may be.
Smell like rain outside. It did rain.
But I used to go all the way with it. Like, I'll step out the car. We can have a conversation.
Yeah.
And I feel like as I mature, I'm like, that's kind of dangerous.
It is
shit like that.
On the freeway. I feel like it's a little bit safer because I can just get off anywhere I need to.
Right.
Well, you threw a bottle at somebody.
Hey, give it up.
That's crazy.
Give it up.
I did throw a
what
bottle
kind
at
of bottle
somebody.
was it?
Right.
A water bottle.
Oh, a plastic one.
Yeah. On the freeway.
He didn't throw the white Hennessy bottle out.
Nah, hell no. I'm keeping that one. That's $100 bottle.
Yeah, I have been a little less passive though. Same thing, but not cars. Shopping cart etiquette. And I know we've talked about this before.
But it still grinds your gears.
It still does. But instead of just waiting, I'll be like, "Hey yo." We was at Costco yesterday, right?
Damn,
I'm
man.
already.
It always starts there too.
I'm already.
You might need to go ahead and get you a. Hold up before you tell it, because I got to get this joke off. What's Sam's Club? Yeah. You need to go to Sam's. Come back with your people.
I'm not going to that Sam's Club.
Come back with your people, man.
Fucking Costco, the way. Oh man, and I already know I'm signing up for some bullshit because I went on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
So it was more popping than usual. But man, just the way, like, y'all, there's no urgency anywhere.
From anybody.
And not that I have the most urgency. I'll be like, yo, do y'all not understand? Like, Costco got these big ass aisles. There's the sample cart. So that means the entrance to this aisle is just cut off. It's halfway. And you want to park your cart right there to wait for this bread and butter.
Let me know if I'm not alone in this then, based off of what you're saying. So like when you go to the store and your cart is in the way,
it's never in the way.
That's the you slide it to somewhere
I slide it
like next to the dog food or something.
I'm always mindful.
Yeah, people aren't mindful.
I don't
like that.
stop, and people that just they see somebody they know and they'll stop in the middle of something. Like, people are coming and going. You can't scoot to the side a little bit. I'm always mindful of my body and my actions.
But it'd be like just you and maybe 5 others in the store at that given time, and the rest just don't give a damn.
Not even that. It'd be like, yo, there is, like, you're sitting here talking to the sample lady, waiting for this cracker. And the sample lady, they
be in the most inopportune place.
They just be like, they see the little line building up, and they don't move, they speed up.
They're
but
all above 62.
I ain't mad at them.
They not
I ain't mad at them, but it's like, yo, you don't notice there's like 4 people behind you trying to get into this aisle.
They do.
And you can't scoot the fuck up a little bit. And so before, I'll just sit there and take it. Wait, now I'll be like, hey yo, fuck we doing? And before it starts with like a third person sarcasm. Like I'll be saying it loud enough so they can hear me, but I'm not talking to them.
Right.
I'm like, man, that's crazy. I'll start off with something like that. I'm like, man, that's crazy that they don't see all these people behind them. Like I'm talking to the kids. I'm like, yo, G, it's so crazy. But now I'm like, hey, my man.
Also, you've progressed since then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
so it's becoming a little more intolerable. Like, yo,
I be sliding the basket laterally. That's how in tune. You know, them wheels don't turn on the back. The wheels is stagnant on the back, right? I be sliding them wheels across to make sure I get out the way. Hey, you know what I mean? And you know what else gets me is motherfuckers that go into like the store and they just stop dead in the aisle.
Right. Whether they
not even with a basket. You cannot have a basket. Like, yo, you're looking for your family.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You ran into somebody that you know and you just talking. You be like, yo, it had to be in this spot.
That shit happened at the gym
this
too.
This high traffic spot. Like, yo.
I knew the gym is no longer an old man's game no more. When I used to go to the gym, at the times that I used to go, at least, like for older folks, the gym time is now between 10 and 3. If you go too early in the morning, you're gonna run into some young business people on their way to work, getting their shit in or whatever. But if you go late in the afternoon, you allow yourself to be around a lot of the fuck shit. Because based off of what you saying, that same shit happens to me at the gym, where it'd be like 3 people on the machine, just talking. Oh, I'm using that. Don't look like none of y'all is sitting in the seat right now, bro. I only got 3 reps that I need to get through of sets of 15 or whatever. Can I get done? Because in a matter of time that you've been talking, and the only thing that be saving me, right? The only thing is I'd be like, yo, it's 3 of them. Right? It's 3 of them, and I can't get my ass whooped and not be able to come back to this gym at the same time. I got to pick a struggle, right? So, and what I do is I'm egregious with it. I sit down. Because I only use one machine that I can do 100 exercises on, the TRX machine. You know what I'm talking about, right? So I sit down. I watch them 15 minutes. Because in my logic, right, if I sit down and wait 10 minutes for each machine, I'll be here way too long. I can sit here and wait 20 minutes for this TRX machine and be out faster. That's why I don't bench. That's why I don't be doing the little leg press shit. I don't have 20 minutes to sit here and wait for all these girls to finish their thigh workouts. That's all they doing all day is thigh workouts. It's like, yo,
It's much appreciated.
absolutely, I get it. But what about your back? Those breasts look a little heavy. You might want to get your back strong. You right? You know, something, right? Like something different. Switch it up. One girl, I seen her 4 days in a row do leg workouts. Like, yo, you have like over 300 muscles, 200 muscles in your body. There's 200 bones. I don't know how many muscles, but yo, you got to do something different. Ligaments, strengthen some other shit, please. So I feel you. Look at me get off my lawn all day.
It's probably only gonna get worse too.
Absolutely.
In both cases.
And I'm accepting it because this is shit that I was blind to as a youth. You know?
I think I've always been mindful of like my act. Like, hey, why the fuck would you just stop hearing a random? And even if I ever get caught slipping in that case, I'm so like apologetic. Like, oh shit, how did I get fucked up? As mad as I be getting,
Yeah.
Hey, I need to let the person I was blocking know. Hey, I realized what I was doing. And because I hate this shit so much, whether you care or not, I apologize.
That's the juggle. The juggle is like people are like, oh, why does he care so much? My question is, why the fuck don't you care so much?
Exactly.
Like,
That's the problem.
We're not gonna agree on this.
I don't
shit.
care that much. You just don't give a fuck enough. And that is the problem.
Oh, hit my head class,
Shit.
man.
Padres win. $1 fries.
There we Hey, that's 2 in a row, I think. They won yesterday, too. I don't know if they swept them or not. We'll see. Shows to watch. What you got up on the docket?
Shit.
Now,
Some
Jonah said that he hates my my descriptions of shows and shit like that, but I try to describe them in a way that's enticing for someone. So if you've already watched it, right, then it's not going to hit the same because I'm not going to explain it the same way that it needs to be explained. Because then I'm giving the movie away. Because in that same vein, I might have Jonah say like, "Oh, he don't describe it enough," and somebody else like, "Hey, you didn't describe it that much, right?" It's because I want to go and see it. So what you got? Shout out to Jonah though. I ain't got no beef with you.
Yeah, man, my shows probably be trash too, just because I be saying some shit that I watched like 2 months ago because we be so backed up with everything I'll be watching. I finally watched a movie called The Menu on HBO. And what I liked about it was I went into it having I didn't see no description, no trailer. I just went into it. And I like that because I have no idea what the fuck is about to happen.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, it's whatever. And then once it goes left, it goes all the way left.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm sure anybody who was going to watch it probably already watched it by now. But
what's it about?
it's, it's one of those like, I don't want to say whodunits, but it's about this fancy restaurant that you got to pay like a grip to get to, hella reservations, and one of them chefs, and it's like a dinner party.
Yeah.
It's a whole movie about a dinner party, and it's not your regular dinner party, if you will.
Someone dies?
It's one of those.
Okay. They've done that plenty of times. I see why but it's just a different way.
Yeah, it's a different way, but I enjoyed it still.
Yeah. You like finding out the
And
mystery.
I finally finished season.
You like Scooby-Doo, huh, as a kid?
I finally finished season 2 of The Bear. And I don't know if we brought up The Bear before, like in an older episode, but that shit is fire.
I don't know what that is.
The Bear is a FX show, or that's not FX, on Hulu only, but it's like a, the dude, Lip from Shameless?
Yeah.
He's the star of the show.
I think I've seen the
And
trailer.
he's a world-renowned chef that goes back to take over his brother's, like, hole-in-the-wall deli.
Yeah.
And, he's
Listen,
trying,
we can hear y'all in the background again, man.
and this season,
Still don't hear me.
This season was really good. So,
That's funny.
and I'm glad they got that off, while the strike is going on, because this shit's gonna be dragging a little farther than what I think.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the Comic-Con people.
That's what I brought up. That's my 3 cheers.
Comic-Con?
I don't feel sorry for this
All right,
Comic-Con people.
I'll wait to. What's your show?
Did you see They Clone Tyrone? Probably be a few months before you get there. Then.
Yeah.
Actually, it's one for the culture that I think is worth you watching.
Oh, yeah?
You love a good, darky story, man. I know you do. Not you don't
What
use
does
those words.
darky story
You don't
mean?
use those words. I can use the term.
Okay,
right? I can use the term.
Not
right?
dark as in mood.
Dark as in black people, right? But I can use my joke. You just don't you co-sign or nothing. Look at that stiff face. There we go. Stiff it on up.
Crazy.
Nah, because what I loved about it though, right? Hijacked is almost like in the same vein as Get Out, like a Jordan Peele-esque. It's a sci-fi horror film. Yeah.
Hijack?
No, it said
You said
I said they cloned
Right,
Tyrone.
and then you said hijack.
No, I didn't.
All right, well, rewind the tape.
I don't know anything about
We the
Hijack.
people.
I didn't.
You just said hijack is in the same vein as Get Out.
Did I?
Yes.
Nah, let's go back.
You yeah.
I'll go back and listen.
You got Idris Elba on the mind.
Not bad. Another darkie. Don't laugh. I'm trying to tell you.
He
I be
British.
testing you.
It's not real because he British.
It's not that bad, but anyway. So with They Clone Tyrone, what I like about it is it's like a Get Out, Jordan Peele type of sci-fi. It's not a horror or anything like that. But with the root issues that it talks about is how white people have been running experiments on us, right? And that experiment is through music, through hair products, right? Through food, right? Like all the natural foods that we didn't have. So like Jamie Foxx is in there too. And it almost sounds like if I was telling a story, a pimp, a hoe, and a gangster or a dope boy, are working together to change the neighborhood.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like. I mean, that's what the movie reminds me of, right? And how do they go about doing it in their own way based off of what they know and how they know how to do those things. You also got my boy. It's hard not seeing him in his previous role. But my man from MI Crooked Letter, that is
Lil Murder?
Lil Murder's in there.
All right.
And so Lil Murder plays the other gangster dude that's in there. So I need a few more roles for me to take him out of that light. Him and my man from Spider-Man. He got a nice little spicy role in one of his TV shows this week. So, but yeah, it touches on that in a beautiful way. Like when I first watched it, because like D said it was like Pootie Tang. It's not Pootie Tang. There's a deeper message in that shit.
That's probably why I didn't jump to it.
Yeah, because when he said that, it's not that at all. Like it's more so like what was that one with my dude that played? He played Fred Hampton, but he played in the movie with Old Girl, and it was kind of like a weird way of shot. He played in all those movies, those type of movies.
Kahlua?
Yeah, with the aliens and all that, and then he was in that one where they were robbing people or whatever. King and Queen, right? Like it's along that type of style of movie. Gotcha. And so it's pretty fire though, man. I had my mom watch it. I called my aunt and everything. I'm like, look, y'all gotta watch this. Like for Netflix,
support black business.
It's a pretty solid movie, man. Like for real. I'll end up watching it again. Some movies I don't touch again. I'm that guy that watches a movie one time and I really watch it. I don't pick up my phone. I don't be texting nobody or nothing like that. Like I really be in tune, so I get the message. I ain't gotta watch it twice. Right, like Denzel in Flight. I ain't watched that since. I only watched it once, but I know exactly what happens.
That's a wild opening scene.
It is. When you really engage.
We was talking about the best opening scene of all time, and I was asking about Saving Private Ryan. Flight's up there. It's like, yo, this is the beginning.
any Denzel. Well, I don't know. He just know how to pick them because he got a few. Book of Eli wasn't like the greatest movie ever, but like I was like, oh, I get the message. Like this is
it
one of
made
those
me
movies.
rewatch that movie because I'm like, all right, man, I'm definitely about to catch him doing some not blind shit. you didn't just skirt this one past me.
He been blind the whole time. There's nothing you could catch.
The way
him
he whooped that dude's ass in the bar, nah, man.
But he was moving like he didn't see it.
That's why I had to watch it close. I watched it closer the second time.
Like, man, he not even looking at the fist. He feels the wind.
I need to catch the director slipping.
He feels the compression of the air coming with the fist come. Yeah, that shit. He's that guy. But yeah, They Clone Tyrone is definitely legit. I'm sorry for the subpar. I don't want to go into details. If I go into details, it takes the whole allure away from watching it. But if you definitely support, us changing ourselves and bettering our circumstances and stop fighting over Negro shit. Like this is because my mom, when I called her, the first thing she said, I said, yo, like that. I was like,
I fell asleep at the very beginning.
But I was like, yo, there's black people working together. She's like, man, we ain't gonna work. I said, see, and that's where it start, right?
It was too unrealistic.
Yeah, but even in the way that. But the way that they had to work together was in a dope ass way, right? Like it just made sense. Like it was like a blueprint. So yeah, hit my hand claps. I know you looking at. You got somewhere to be. You looking at that time. I'm running today. One of our favorite pods doesn't have anything going on for the next 2 weeks, so I'm keeping people's attention.
be beeping. That's all.
Am I in the wrong? My wife brought her two siblings, 17 and 12, to the U.S. from Venezuela a couple of months ago. The plan was that she was going to take them in, and her mom would come 1 or 2 months after that. She got her immigration process in line. It has been nearly 8 months, and her mom has not come. I initially agreed because I was told it would be temporary. We live in a small apartment, and it's very crowded. We have our own child of our own, too. Our household went from 3 to 5. I can't even spend time in our living room because they are watching TV before I make it there. My wife has complained that I no longer spend time in the living room, but I tell them I don't feel comfortable. I've never liked living with other people, especially people I have never met. I've asked her where we are at with her mom coming. She said that it's unlikely. I asked if we can find a different family member to at least share the responsibility, and she said no. I also asked if once her siblings turn 18, if she's going to move out and take have them move out and take the younger sibling. I got the same answer. I've explained to her that I don't feel comfortable in my own house, and she says she's okay. She's going to look after her siblings, and if I didn't like it, I can figure it out. Expenses have gone up. My privacy is no longer there. We could face eviction as they don't allow more than 4 people here, and I feel like I feel like the bad one here for not wanting to live like this. We can't even go out as a family anymore or talk like normal couples because they're always there. I've hinted to go out, just the 3 of us, but she always brings them along. I feel like a terrible person, but I think this, but I think if this continues, I might be the one moving out.
That's tough. Feel him. I don't think anybody's wrong in this situation, though.
All right.
I think
I'm laughing just because of the irony. We're agreeing. It's all right.
I think he's perfectly valid in all his feelings, but I also think when you agree to something and they make it a thing to be like, yo, this is only temporary, before you say yes, you're saying yes to it's probably not temporary, right? And that might be his fault. Doesn't mean he's wrong in how he's feeling, but at the end of the day, I don't know, maybe he just had a little more foresight because you know, it was 7:30 in the morning while I was just getting to work when I got the phone call like, hey, can we take G? It's only temporary. And I only had I know it's just springing this on you.
It's funny that you just say that now because where we're at today.
Yeah, I know I'm springing this on you bright and early in the morning, and they need an answer within 2-3 minutes. And I was like, I got them. Knowing damn well, I was like, this might be forever.
Knowing the circumstances.
No, this was the first decision I had to make in the morning. As I walked through my office door, I was like, fuck.
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, I understand her side. Like, hey, this is my family. They're not from here. What the fuck? We gonna send them out when they're 18, stuff like that. I get all that too. That's why I'm saying I don't think anybody's wrong. But yeah, it is him feeling like, yo, I might be the one to move out. If y'all don't, he's in the right mind space as far as hey, if we don't move differently, this is gonna affect us as a family. And yeah, that's probably gonna happen.
I don't think he's wrong for wanting to move out either, though, right? But if your wife wanted to blame you for leaving your family or the circumstances, you have to know what you signed up for. Yeah. When you date someone that is not American born and not part of our school systems and shit like that, and they're from somewhere else. My man called me the other day, and I'll give this as a prime example. He's looking for a nanny to take care of his son, right? And I said, look, bro, being in the child care business myself, like in regards to my wife, I've come to understand a few things. If you have a home-based child care, right, you can afford to hire somebody if you have more than X amount of kids, right? That's what the X is, depending on how much your mortgage is or whatever. But if you want to bring in more cash, you're going to need help anyway, right? There's only so much that you can do, right? If you get a private nanny, you have to realize that what you're paying them and the time slots that you're paying them and whatnot, right, that ain't going to be enough for them to live out here in Dago, so they may have other jobs. So you run the risk of that person leaving or finding something better, right? And sure enough, when I said it, less than 1 week later, right, that woman has another opportunity with way more hours. And when I looked at it and I did the math, I was like, bro, she gonna be making close to 4 G's a month if she sticks with this one family versus missing out on that money. What did she do before? Oh, she's from Mexico. All right, well, what did she do in Mexico? She was an architect. Well, guess what? This isn't the job field that she wanted to do, but this is something that will get her quick cash to get her back to where she want to be at. And that's going to be some years in the process, right? And so you're not providing her the opportunity that she would need and the resources that she would need to be able to get back on her feet. Because if she's putting buildings together and making safety plans and shit like that, you know, contingency plans and making sure that air flows through the building the right way and all that other shit, that's way outside of her scope as a child care provider. So how I relate this to this story, right? I got to make sure I start linking my brain because people be thinking I be saying shit. If your wife is from Venezuela and she grew up on hard times, but the body is fire and the conversation is fire and she make you feel great and you got a baby and stuff like that, guess what? She got other family members too that's out there in poverty. So look, she gonna look for you to come save you.
Well, it also sounds like this was already a conversation before. He just got too wrapped up in that temporary shit, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
So it seems like you were already in agreement. You guys were on the same page about, hey, before we move forward, have a kid, have a baby, whatever. Like, I'm trying to bring my family over here originally.
But man, I wish that conversation ain't happening. Not amongst foreigners. Look, because I tell it the other way around. If I'm stuck in some third world country and I got me a nice little wife from some bumfuck somewhere, right, that looking for me, I'll be seeing it on 90 Day Fiance all day long. I'm not going to tell you my intentions because I'm trying to secure the bag. Finding an American person is like hitting the lottery for them.
But it does sound like at some point, and maybe they were married already, whatever. At some point, there was a conversation that he agreed to.
Yeah, the fact that he agreed to having them come over.
He got stuck on the temporary part.
But he agreed because see, that's the thing. People don't look at the devil's in the details, right? Like, for example, if I allow somebody to stay with me, you got to pay me money, but it ain't money that I'm using for my own house because it don't help me anywhere, right? So, like, for example, if I have somebody live with me, I'm taking money from you each month, and you know what? By gosh darn it, right? Birkenstock's statement. But by the time like 6 or 7 months go by, you got a job and everything. Here's $4,000, King, of your own money. Bye, Queen. Bye. I don't owe you nothing, right? You don't owe me nothing. Right? Because regardless, I was going to live here anyway. My bills went up a little bit, like water and shit like that. But again, I'll take that L for a little bit just so and don't come back. So at 17 and 12, the 17-year-old's a wash. 12-year-old, you might have a chance. 17, bro, get them working, find a job, get a trade, GED, something. Like, none of this conversation is popping up. Right? See, what people seem to forget is like, yo, you get somebody from a foreign country or you get somebody that didn't have any schooling or whatever. The number one thing is to help find them a job. I know a kid, right? Spent his whole entire life until 16 not going to school. And I was like, yo, I asked the family members, I'm not giving up any identifying information, but I was like, yo, like, how are you serving this young man? You know, the family members were older. And tell you the truth, like I had a lot of dealings with him. That family member passed away. And now I'm looking at this young man 5 years later. And I'm like, dog, I don't even know where to start with you, man. Like, you don't have any basic like reading and math skills. You don't have no education or whatever. You know, you 19 years old trying to navigate this world where everything was given to you for the last 5 years. And nobody's going to give a fuck about you when they walk past you every day and care about your story. That is sad. You know what I mean? So it's like when you look at people with these circumstances with no education and nowhere to go in sight, right? The question is when they're coming into your space, well, what can I do to get you on the right track and to say that I did everything that the average person wouldn't do?
Well, it sounds like he's just trying to keep the peace within his house, but he has all these feelings that he can't really get out.
You ever felt like that in your own home?
Of course.
Yeah, me too.
But I had the foresight. I know what I signed up for.
And you executed the plan.
I know what I said yes to.
And I'm there. I'm there with you because I've done the same thing. I know what I'm saying yes to, and I know what terms I put together prior to that even happening. And we are on those terms.
And whatever terms we talk about when a decision like that happens, I always, hope that that's what happens, but expect a little worse.
Yeah. So
when that does happen, I'm like, all right, I guess I'm G's dad now.
Which is cool. I mean, it ended up being something that probably saved your life. Should never said that. Look at the fucking wheels turning. All right, hit my hand claps.
How was I moving where I was? I thought I was
it saved your life.
I was doing all right.
It saved your life, man.
Well, I guess I did stop a few things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know if my life is
all right, man. Look at you already. It's not now. It's definitely not now. That's the good thing.
You don't know that.
Fun facts, and then we out of here. Ants rest for 8 minutes in a 12-hour period. That was kind of fire to me.
I know that one.
Yeah, that was fire. 8 minutes is crazy.
That makes sense.
That's a full 8 hours of sleep in 8 minutes.
They do be working,
man. So that means that they only get 15-minute breaks in a 24-hour period. They just work all day and die.
You want me to take a left?
Go ahead.
I mean,
that's us.
Yeah,
but we don't. But we get days to enjoy it. It's not like an ant goes on a vacation. Like, oh, we're going to the watering hole.
But think about how long they live versus how long we live. So
Absolutely.
It's all the same.
Relative.
Their 8 minutes is our weekend.
That's crazy when you think. They don't even think about minutes. So like for them, 8 minutes could be like a whole.
Time is only a constraint that we put on ourselves.
Absolutely.
Look, as you get older, don't the weekend feel more like a lunch break?
I saw that. I saw that post you put up there. I used it as a joke one day. Thank you.
It wasn't mine. So.
I know, but you brought it to me, man. Sometimes you there's a fee for that. Like travel people do that. It's not your country, but you arrange the flights and everything. Thank you, Travelocity.
They don't pay us.
Humans are the only animals that eat spicy foods. Who?
Sucks for them.
I don't think rats eat no spicy food.
Rats eat anything, man.
You seen a rat eat hot sauce? That's crazy to me. I've never seen a rat say, "Oh, I'm gonna skip this fry right here and go straight for this tapatio."
Well, I think they'll eat the fry, and then when there's nothing else, it's like, hey, there's some tapatio there. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I would think a rat might do that.
Yeah,
for us. I don't know. Spicy.
I feel like some animals they would smell that it's hot. Like it's not enjoyable to them.
It's not about enjoy. See, we're the only species that eats for enjoyment. They eat to live.
What about sharks?
They eat to live.
But I feel like if they eat something that's outside of their food chain scope,
because they starving to death.
Well, I guess.
No, that makes sense.
Domesticated dogs, I guess you're right. It is a human-made thing, right? Domesticated dogs do that because humans do that. Let me mix your shit with this little rice stuff or whatever.
Yes. So that's probably what makes that a true statement. It's like, oh, this shit's too bland. Let me throw a little spice on it.
Yeah. All right. Makes sense. According to some research by British scientists, the average cell phone carries 18 times more potential harmful germs than a toilet handle in a men's restroom. That's crazy that they went straight to us. When's the last time you disinfected your phone, Lex?
The thing is, I know that stat, and I still be like, it's crazy.
Yeah, because your beard carries bacteria too, so now it's just hanging in there. Mine too.
And I be thinking about Charles Barkley licking his phone screen.
Oh, yucky.
Like that's his shit, and I'm like, Yeah,
that's terrible. And he shakes a lot of hands all day.
And it's crazy, they got that little fun fact about like a dog's mouth is cleaner than a human.
That is not true.
And I'm like, even if it is true, like that don't give you an excuse to be making out with your dog. And then
I read an article that's bad too.
They say your phone is dirtier than the toilet handle. That ain't gonna stop me from using my foot in a public restroom for the toilet handle.
Oh, you touch it bare hand?
I said from using my foot.
I take a little tissue. I push it if the thing is broke,
Yeah,
or I step
I'll
on
do
it.
tissue or I'll step on it.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
it.
touching that shit. Hey, and if there ain't nothing in there,
Hey, wait, if
I
you
gotta
clog
leave
the
that
toilet,
shit.
do you go tell somebody or you just leave?
I think I don't know if I've ever done that, but
You ain't never put too much paper in the stall and there's a low flush toilet somewhere and you was just like, you know what? I'm out.
I'm probably leaning toward.
The toilet's clogged.
I'm probably leaning towards leaving though.
You guys believe?
I just found the way that why is she appalled?
In a public.
The way she
I'm
said.
not saying I would leave your house.
The
I'm
way
talking
she
about, like,
said it, like imagine being in a gas station and you in the bathroom for 8 minutes and they like, hey, the toilet's clogged. Like, nah, fam, you did that.
That's right. I did it. You come fix it.
I'm leaving.
Yeah,
I'm leaving it to mystery. Can you guess who is the mystery? I'm leaving that. Oh, that's all you, fam. Sorry.
I'll get paid for that, right?
Yeah. And then, I might have been the breaking point where you like, I don't get paid enough for this
I wouldn't
shit.
feel bad doing it either because I've been on the other end. Like, oh, you know what? It's my turn.
Yeah.
I've had to do this
It's a
shit.
rite of passage.
I've had to do some wild foul shit cleaning up a bathroom.
Absolutely, I'm sure.
Like, how you
7-Eleven bathroom is crazy.
No, that bathroom was only for us.
Oh, okay.
Still, but like the Pat and Oscar bathroom, the Pat and Oscar woman bathroom, yo, women of National City, wash your ass. How you get poop? How you get shit stains on the top of a wall?
Woo.
I'm 6'2" and I gotta get a step ladder.
6'2". He said 6'2" is crazy.
The fuck are y'all doing in there?
Man, it's men too though.
Don't blame it on the babies, huh?
I think also because they probably be standing up, so it just. Look, the stand up method is cool, but you gotta have. Look, it's funny we talk about this.
I'm talking about shit smeared at the top of a wall.
Again,
I'm not talking about
I don't know how it exploded out. You know what I mean? It happens, right? We all had kids. Like, how'd you get it up your back? Like how was it? Gravity works down, but like the way I'm saying it is like on the stoop method. Sometimes you get backsplash.
Yeah.
Do you know how to stop the backsplash? I jump out the.
Ooh, all right, here we go.
I get real low, drop and then jump up. It looked like a squat.
Then you don't remember how I told you to cover the toilet.
Nah, I do that.
You put 4 toilet seats on the.
I know how to do that.
That part of your parenting didn't
Hey, but
crack
sometimes
through.
you ain't got time. Look, you're not telling the truth, man. Because sometimes you ain't got enough time to put all the pieces down. You got to make You got to make a decision.
Yeah.
Yo.
I'll be sitting there putting in like, you know what? I got more draws at home. I could just go straight home.
Yeah, I can make it. I can make it.
Come here, I need some.
A survey of 17,000 people across 28 countries found that after marriage, the amount of time a man spends doing chores on a weekly basis decreases significantly.
Come here, please.
Well, if you're adding another person into the mix with the same household, I would expect it to decrease.
He think I'm one of them third world chicks. You see how you talking to me? I know. I know.
I'm saying if I have my own household that I gotta do every single thing in the house, and then I get married, I expect the other person to do something.
To take hold.
Not take over all the chores, but to take over any chore is gonna be a decrease in what I'm doing because I do everything.
I do all the hard shit though. So I that's where like my justification comes in. Like I got my
I wasn't even taking this to you in the trash and all that other shit.
No.
I'm just talking about.
You see that cut right
Logically,
there?
it makes sense.
That's from fixing the plumbing the other day. I'll
All
see
right.
her get cut folding clothes.
That's kind of
I
crazy.
see her get cut. Can I get my jokes off? Shit, man. Everybody's so fucking serious.
just making
This
sure-
is why she be getting mad at me because the way y'all be reacting, laugh. So I can be like, hey, I was joking.
I'm laughing, but I ain't trying to get hit either.
No, I feel you. My knees was killing me, bro. It took me fucking 3 hours to find a way to strip off that tarnished nut. Pause off the plumbing sink. I gotta learn about P-traps. You know what a P-trap is?
Yeah.
What's a P-trap?
Need some lime away.
Yeah, there we go. I put that shit on there. Dude, this shit took forever.
Gotta let it sizzle for a little bit.
It was sizzling.
Your dad do that stuff?
Look, I figured it out. All right, I've already replaced sinks before. I don't need to go through all this. My point is that I do all the hard lifting and shit like that. She told me the other day. I had a new thing. She said, I'm not lifting that box. I said, oh, that's crazy. I lift all your shit. So whatever. I said, all right, cool.
That's what you here for.
Since you want to put it on my new.
I ain't folding my drawers.
Her next thing would be, Jose, can you lift this? I can look how they try to replace me.
Hey, if he there rent free.
Hey man, he's not.
Better lift a box or two.
He's not. That's my man's. We not gonna go down that road. First alarm systems. What do you think they were?
First alarm systems.
It was. I'll give you a time period.
Dogs?
1600.
Dogs.
Smart. I like that one. I didn't think you was going to take it there. That was a good one. The other one is squeaky floors were the best home security in the 17th century in Japan. You'd expect Japanese feudal lords to live in pristine houses with the sturdiest materials, and most of that is true. But safe there. But also they had squeaky floors. Floors were. It said Nightingale floors were flooring systems that chirped whenever somebody walked in. They were installed in temples and places to alert of intruders. The floors were built in a way that the floor nails rubbed against jackets or clamps, causing squeaking noises. Still to this day, if I feel like I hear a squeak, I'm not.
You sound like that Nike basketball commercial?
Yeah, exactly. Your house doesn't have squeaky floors yet.
No, because you have vinyl.
Absolutely.
I think it's like a
the
tile
wood is
thing.
holding up. Matter of fact, your home is still probably sitting in the foundation right now as we speak. You get random cracks?
I hope not. Shit brand new.
Yeah, when the dude said this shit.
When the house is settling.
When the house is settling, you get random cracks in places. That's another fun fact.
Don't manifest that shit for Otai
It's
Rand.
not a bad thing. All you do is fucking like putty it up. It's supposed to sit in the foundation.
Or I could just go out my day and not worry about no cracks. Or it just don't crack, and then I ain't got to worry about no putty.
Or just be informed because it's gonna settle a crack. That's just.
Nah, there might be a crack in the garage.
There we go. It's good, man. All you gotta do is putty it. It's got to sit in the foundation. House's foundation is wood and shit. You think wood is a sturdy material?
No, we got that new foundation.
Oh, okay. I see where you be living.
Built for the
I
tankless,
see where you be living.
built for tankless water heaters.
Home of denial.
Yeah, I used to be the two. Hey, you know what? That check engine light, it'll go off eventually. I used to.
Oh yeah, a few other things going off too. Absolutely. 3 cheers, man. Let's get the fuck out of here, man. Hour and 40, we did well. And then when they open, it's gonna say like an hour and 45. So we had Comic-Con here this weekend, and here's the thing: I think different from other ones, right? Obviously, because the actors and writers are on strike. I ain't seen that much pizzazz about it, right? I seen a few posts from the few dedicated people to Comic-Con, but it ain't hit the outskirts like it is, and nobody is there. So I want to shout out to the actors and the writers for standing hard in their beliefs, because if you know anything about show business and all that other shit, there is no guarantees with healthcare, no guarantees what the next check is going to come to. I think I remember reading a story that one popular actor got down to his last $28 before he got his next big break, and sometimes the payouts probably don't come until after the film has been sold to a major network. So I think that like it's a big deal, or maybe it was already sold then, but I mean, I don't know how that shit works, 100%, but I just think it's beautiful. You know why? Because I compare it to one of my friends was talking about the gripes with running backs right now and their values, right? And I said, look, you can sit here and you could talk publicly on some shit that we've known to be happening over the last maybe 10 to 12 years, right? The devaluing of the running back and more specialty positions getting, picked up earlier, like offensive linemen and linebackers. But if y'all ain't going to strike or you ain't going to do nothing about it or hold out, I'm just not trying to hear the complaints, right? Because there's people out here trying to get it out the mud with even less. You know what I mean? And they didn't have payouts before then, and they getting it done. So shout out to action. I love action. Complaining just doesn't work for me.
Sometimes it's hard to hold out because the labor pool is so small. I mean, the job is so small with a big labor pool, they can always find a replacement. Now, when it comes to talent and stuff like that, yeah, you'll mess it up. But as an NFL owner, you're like, hey, 2023 running backs are a dime a dozen. You want to hold out? Cool. We don't even utilize y'all.
Actors are a dime a dozen too, though.
Yeah.
It has to start somewhere, is what I'm saying.
No, yeah, for sure.
That's where I'm getting
But
at. I'm not
you
trying to
guys gotta be
say.
on the same page, but at the same time, the people that do cross the picket line, like, I don't really hold.
Those are real heroes.
The ones that go against the strike.
In the beginning, no, the ones that
I said that
you said cross the picket line. Yeah, no,
Like, I'm not gonna
those are
fault,
not the real
I'm not
heroes.
gonna fault nobody that has a whole bunch of people they got to take care of. Like, yeah, you might not get shit done in the long run, but like, I'm not gonna sit there and not be understanding about it.
I will, because if you don't make that sacrifice, why do you get to enjoy the fruits of the labor?
You should make the sacrifice.
Like, if I had to take a fall on the sword or whatever, like for you, then the question is, all right, like why did I have to fall on the sword in the first place?
Right. I mean, at a certain point, you gotta, like, yeah, I'm in agreement with all that, but you gotta understand, like, everybody's situation is different.
Absolutely.
And some people got the world on their back, and they got X amount of people, countless people counting on them, or they don't eat and shit like that. So,
and that's why I champion the writers and the actors. The actors, they've already got their money. Some of them, right? Depending on the ones that are on strike in solidarity. It's beautiful though. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of panels, like Marvel pulled out of their big panel, and I want to say it was Marvel and DC. You know how they normally do, like they panel or something. They have Aquaman come up and sit down.
Yeah, they're all gone.
They're all gone right now, and I thought that was dope. You know what I mean? So like, and it just means that you got to fix it. You know what I mean? And we'll feel the heat come fall, come fall, and going into early. Actually, it's gonna be longer than that. Because this little period where there's no work stops all the projects that would have been coming out a year and a half from now. So
yeah,
we're going to be feeling the heat.
Luckily for me, I'm so backed up. I'm good to go.
Yeah, you ain't got nothing to worry about, King.
And, I don't think that's going to stop, like, reality TV if you're into that. So
only so much of it. It just
but
depends.
I'm just saying
now.
that they're going to start, whenever there's a strike, there's, like, a big spike in, like, reality shows.
Absolutely. Real
Shit
world.
coming back. I think that was a big thing on the American Gladiators documentary was they only saw their spike when there was a strike. So it was like, was the show really that good or was it just available?
We need shit to watch, yeah.
Yeah. So
amen to that. All right, man, we out of here. I appreciate y'all. Some of your favorite pods are on vacation. No, not us. We were smart enough to do it earlier in the year.